guys. Grabbing a straw. We're gonna need it when you jump on. Say, what's up? I think I'm a minute early. And I'm not gonna do anything until a few of you jump on. Hi, Mississippi Judy. Nobody's dropping anything over here. Hold on. Hi, Shelby. Hi, Deanna. Hi, Laura. I'm over here just hanging out, making a mess. So, today we're gonna go back to the basics. I'm gonna pretend like I've never done a fake bake before. It's gonna be weirdo, but we're gonna do it. Hi, Albert. Hi, Cindy. It's not Mississippi Judy. I was here. I was live twice last week. Can you guys see my table? I feel like, hi, Barbara. Let me move my friends back. Hang on, friends. Ooh, I got short arms. Is that okay? Can you guys see my table? What's up? So I'm gonna do the very first fake bake I ever did was just a little basic cocoa. Hi, Angie. I'm gonna give you guys a lot of information because I had to figure this all out when I was learning. So of course I have knowledge to give, but to actually do it like I did when I started is going to be very weird for me because you guys know I got to do all the more and more. I'm not really your basic kind of girl, but we all start somewhere. I think this is the perfect thing to start with for those of you that are brand new or haven't even done a fake bake yet and you're kind of nervous to jump in. I'm going to give you guys a really good tip to make a cocoa and not have to worry about it sinking and falling. I mean, anybody could do it, for real. Hi, Janie. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Dee. Hi, Iris. Hi, Sue. Sorry if I missed anybody. So I obviously have a glass prepped. Of course, I got to add a little nest to it. I don't want to do your basic cup. Do you see how I have kind of like my chocolate in there? It looks like a not so well stirred cocoa. You don't have to do that if you don't like it. I love it, so I'm gonna do it. Hi, Christine. You're very welcome. So the weird part for me is going to be doing the basic of what we're going to use for our base, because I haven't done that since I started. But we're going to prep 2 different mugs just like this. These are from the Dollar Tree. I want to keep it inexpensive, especially for newbies. You might not like the craft, so I don't want you guys going and spending a bunch of money on all this stuff. And the reason I'm going to keep my base basic is because you guys know I use a lot of styrofoam in my cups. We're going to talk about that as well. A lot of you guys might not have, well, first of all, those sheets of styrofoam are not cheap. The styrofoam balls are not cheap. And a lot of you guys might not be using, you know, the gaps and cracks. I always have some, so it's not a problem for me because I always got stuffs. Hi, April. April, I'm going to ship your s'mores when it's dry. I think I have, what, 3 or 4 days left for it to dry. You guys know I let my fake bakes dry for 10 full days before I ship anything, especially in the heat. It doesn't matter, always. I wait 10 days for Spackle stuff. Hello, Nick. Hi, Connie. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing Spackle. We're going to talk about Spackle. I never pipe. Oh, I'm lying again. I do pipe the top of a cake sometimes with my dab. I always pipe the top of my shakes, my mugs. Anytime I'm piping something like this, a sundae, it's going to be with my Red Devil. Your dab is like a buttercream consistency, so it's kind of heavy compared to our Red Devil. I know a lot of you guys don't have Menards. I'm lucky and I have Menards, and that's where I get the Red Devil. The tip that I'm going to show you guys on your mugs, you probably can get away piping with the dab. It just feels unnatural to me because this Red Devil is going to stay where I put it. I could build it more and more, and it's not going to go anywhere. You are very welcome. Hi, Cindy. I did 2 lives last week. Hi, Tina. So I'm going to mix my Red Devil. My dab, when you guys see me frosting anything, like the top of that gumdrop, I just did a video of that, the top of that pumpkin that I did with the gingerbread on top, I always use dab. Dab, because it's creamier, it's going to smooth out a lot nicer. The Red Devil has a tendency of coming with you. So it's gonna follow my stick. This is what I always frost stuff with. And it pulls away from the item that I'm frosting. Especially if you guys are smoothing some frosting spackle on clay, dab is going to be your best friend. I do not want you guys thinking that you have to go and buy all these different things. But once you dive into the craft and you can invest a little bit into these things, you're going to understand why I use both. But you're definitely going to get better results doing a shake, a sundae, anything you're going to be piping on top with the Red Devil. I catch myself after a live and I've said the wrong name. So I had to make sure my thinking cap was on. I don't think I've opened this one yet. What are you guys doing on a Friday night? Hi, babe. Babe's here. Hi, Helen. Brand new. Always mix your containers. I've been bad about that. The Red Devil has been it's been on the dry side. I haven't been happy with it. I mean, we still use it and it's fine. We just have to, hi Angela. We just have to thin it out a little bit more. I'd like to use a painter stick for this. I can get the goodies on the bottom. Babe, can you come home now? Oh, thank you, Lisa. You know, I haven't seen it in a minute. I'm like, hey, where'd you go? Hi, Heather. Heather, I thought of you today. Oh, I wanted to wear my socks that you got me. I couldn't find the other one. I was like, what was it? Heather, do you know where my sock is? All right, I'm going to mix a couple different colors because we're going to use white for our top. I'm going to use nutmeg for the inside of this, and I'm also going to prep a pink one. Don't need this much. Babe, come home. Yes, I meant to say that. They have the one time, they don't have this one in this container, but just check your containers because sometimes they come in and there's like little rocks in them. I don't know why. This is not my nutmeg. This is my coffee. We are doing a basic cocoa for our newbies. And then a little something else. I already have some in there, so I should be okay with that. Just have to make sure that it's Red Devil in here. And not that. I could tell the difference by smelling it. I use a lot of Spackle. You should see the 2 towers I have over here of empties. Oh yeah, Heather, that's all of us. Come home. Come home to me, Jimmy. That'll be the last time I sing you. Babe's at work. Let me get this bag in the container. I'm making a mess. Good grief, woman. Alright, so I'm going to start with my nutmeg. I just wanted to get everything all out of that container at once. Hello, Maritza. Okay, let's roll. So this is what I always use for my cocoa color. It is just the Walmart. Now, our spackle is going to dry darker, just like our clay dries darker when it dries. That made no sense. It dries darker. Can't spoke. Hi, Jenny. So if it's looking like, oh, it looks a little white, chances are it's probably right where I want it, because it's going to dry darker. So I'm going to take a clean glass. These glasses from Dollar Tree, they're really gross. They come in like so dirty. So make sure you clean your glasses. It's nutmeg, Judy. So here's what I'm going to do to give it that. Can you guys see that on camera? I know the glare is like crazy, but can you see how there's like the darker, can you see? You see what I'm talking about? I'll show you what I did. I'm just going to get a little bit in there. Hi, Gail. It's me. Hi, Carmen. Thanks for joining, guys. All right, so I'm just going to start with a little bit at my bottom, and then I'm going to get tricky. And I'm going to take my paint, and I'm just going to drop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Come on. No rhyme or reason. I'm going to go back in with my spackle. I'm going to get it in there. We're going to get her done. If you want to throw a little spot of white in there, go for it. Mine on that mug looks like it has white in it, but it was just because I picked up some of the white in my container. But that's how real cocoa looks, so I didn't care. I didn't mind. I think it looks cooler than just a flat color, but you guys do what you want to do. It's your design. I'm just giving you some ideas and some tips. So, forgot to say, when you mix your spackle for any glass that you were going to line out, you want the consistency on the thinner side, and you want your application on the thinner side. Otherwise, it will crack. So you want to get it on there, and you want to remove your excess. Put it back in your bowl. This stuff's not cheap, so we're going to save it all. Hi, Penny. So if you feel like your spackle is not moving around your glass a little, like it might be too thick, I always have one of these little water bottles on my tables. You could just spritz it a little bit and then just start removing. Now I'm not leaving my paint like that. I'm not done. I'm gonna swirl it and twirl it. So you don't want this real thick because it will crack. I do sometimes, because I put mine in front of a fan and I let it dry overnight. I use my glasses the next day. Let me concentrate and then I'll tell you something else, okay? Okay, friends? Okay, so now I'm going to move it around. I'm just going to put my popsicle stick in here and I'm going to swirly whirly. We could drag it all over the place, wherever we want it. Okay? Again, you don't have to do this. I like it a lot. Of course, you know you don't have to do it. Hi, Tamara. Really? Now I got that song in my head. In my head. Or in my head? Zombies? Whatever. I don't know. I think that one looks pretty cool. Okay, then I'm going to lay this. Okay, babe, get your butt to work, mister. I didn't think you were still here. Now you can hold this up to the light if you could see through it. After you do so many of them, you're gonna know. You're not gonna have to check. It's just gonna be good. You're gonna get perfect at it. No, Carmen, I closed my group May 1st. Okay. So I obviously have a dry one. I'll throw this in front of my fan when we're done. But I want to do, since we're doing a basic today, we're going to prep something to do more and more on our next one. So I want to do a pink one. So we're going to do a pink one. Where's my pink container? Okay. I'm going to use the pink parfait in here. Hopefully. Ah, shoot. Guys, I may have to run over to my table and get another thing. Let me go on my other table. I'm sorry. It's just right over there. Hi, Carrie. So I'm going to do the same thing with this glass that I did with that one. We're going to make it pink and swirly, whirly, twirly. So if you guys get the color that you want, but you think you need to thin your consistency a little bit, then just spray a little water in it. The only time I thicken my spackle with a thickening agent is when I'm making ice cream scoops. And then for that I use plaster of Paris. We will talk about that another day. But somebody asked me about that. And I can't imagine having to like make it thicker. Okay, I'm going to turn both of these bottles upside down. So same thing, I'm going to go in with my pink. And I'm going to drop some drops. Thank you, Carrie. I feel like I want to put a little bit of white in here. Another thing you guys can do, you can use your, I don't want to jump ahead for newbies, but I have to. So you know our caulk dripping? We make this with caulk, glossy Mod Podge, and paint. I mix it in a bowl, break it down, then I pour it in the bottles. This is what I frost my donuts with. But when I started, this is how I drizzled my cocos. So I'm going to use that. But if you guys aren't into making all that stuff and you got some slick dimensional, it's puffy paint now, you can put that inside your glass. You can let it dry, or you can blend it like this too. But I've done both. I've put the caulk in here before, let that dry, but I like using the paint now just because I get that vibrance of the true color of paint. Hi, Jojo. Hi, Mary. Ooh, banana bread. Tamara will be when I'm finished and I'm able to upload it over there. I'm not that fancy where I'm recording from both. Maybe one day. But it takes a while to get it downloaded and then upload it over there, so give me a couple hours and it'll be over there. Well, a couple hours after I'm done. Okay, so I got my color. I'm gonna swirl it. I'm gonna wiggle it just a little bit. Get her out of here! Hi, Becca. Hi, Mary. Tamara. Girl, that cracks me up. I'm not done. I'm not done shaking it. I will never be done shaking it. Okay, and just moving that paint around into my spackle. Swirly, swirly, twirly. Looks pretty. Looks delicious. I wouldn't taste good though. Okay, removing my excess. What are you guys doing? I thought this would be a really good one to start with because then we could build our way up together. And as soon as I'm done frosting this bad boy, we're going to talk about bases because it's all about the base. Ooh, those lifesaver ones, right? Hi, Jackie. Hi, Dewey. Yum. Remember those yummy, delicious suckers? Ooh. I saw them on Amazon. I was like, ooh, I used to be friends with you. Okay. So we're going to build more and more with this one. And then you guys will understand why I use the bases that I use now. Okay, these will go in front of the fan. This one's dry. Let me throw them. They're right here. Or it's right here. Okay. Sorry if I get to talking fast. Tell me to zip it. Hello, Beatrice. Thank you, Albert, for helping. I'm not sure what the question was. So thank you. Okay. So we are going to be using a very basic, this is going to be weird for me, guys. It's going to be like my very first time doing a fake bake. Okay, so for our bases, when we were all learning things, you could use a toilet paper roll, a paper towel. I did reeds at the time, so I loved saving the mesh tubing or the mesh tubes, and I would cut a piece off of this. Now, sometimes when we're using the tubes and we cut them, they split. So I'm gonna glue it. I want a solid base. I don't want no wonky, busted up base. Thank you, Lynn. Okay, I'm gonna glue this right down. This is weird. I haven't done this in so long. Awesome, Debbie. You were talking about me. My ears are always ringing. I'm always being talked about. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you liked that tutorial. Nice and easy, Dollar Tree friendly. Okay. Someone told me when I said that there was no wrong way for the paint technique of moving the colors around. She wanted to argue with me and told me there is a wrong way of doing that because you can get mold in your glasses. Well, it has nothing to do with how you swirl your colors. It has to do with your stuff being dry inside. So you want to make sure that the inside of your glass is completely dry. Squeeze it, push it. Be gentle, don't be hard, because if it's not dry, it will crack on you if you start doing that. But there is no wrong way to swirl your paint. We can get our application too thick. That could be considered a mistake or wrong. But you can't make a mistake by the colors and swirling of how you want it. That's not going to make your glass mold, okay? You want this dry before you start building anything up on top. You got to have a good foundation, guys. Which this is weird to me because this doesn't feel like a good thing. I know it is because this is what we did forever and ever. Okay, so for my top. Now, I'm doing this because, again, if you guys are just jumping on, if there's brand new people to the craft or crafting period, you might not want to make that investment of styrofoam. It is not cheap. You might not be using gaps and cracks, so you don't have all this scrap around like I do. I always have styrofoam here, so I don't use these boards. Another reason I don't use them is because I'm doing more and more on top of my jars, okay? So we're gonna take this, trace it, cut it out, get it to size to where it's gonna fit inside your glass. These are from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use 2, you don't have to. This just feels weird to me. Hi, Cynthia. Is that Eileen? Hi, friend. Okay. I'm going to glue these right on top of my little mesh tube. I'm going to push that down right in there. It's okay. Thanks for joining. Okay, I want to. I also, when I get this in here, I like to go around. Hi, what's up, glue strings? I like to go around to make sure I do this if I'm using styrofoam also. And we're going to glue that on there. Okay, this is the nice, cheap version. If you guys are doing this with kids, this is perfect because you don't have to use all your styrofoam. Okay, when I put styrofoam in here, we have a base like this. We can't be running a bunch of big lollipops and donuts and cupcakes and all the more and more that you guys see me put inside my big glasses. Or even this, I can make 15 inches tall with what I put inside of my glass. So the pink one that we just spackled, we're gonna do more and more. We're gonna do a styrofoam inside because we got the styrofoam. And now I can start running all my dowels through the things and gluing it in. I would not feel comfortable doing it with this. Where's it gonna go? It's gonna crack this. This is gonna be a solid base. This is not to start running things through it, okay? So this is a good starting point for newbies for cost, to not have all the investment of these things and then say, I don't even like this craft. So you don't have to buy all this stuff. Practice here, okay? So then this, we would have our mug and then we would just start piping it, right? I'm not doing that. I'm gonna help you guys that have never piped before. We're gonna use, you can get these now at Hobby Lobby. They have the Christmas ones. I use these a lot for a lot of things, my ice cream cones. I'm only going to use the tip. It's going to be a guide to help you pipe, okay? You don't need this, but it's going to be a good little tool to keep your piping nice. It's not going to sink on you. And right when I jumped on and I said, using this, you can get away with using that, because our center has a base inside of it. So you don't have to worry about it sinking. I could pipe this whole thing without this using Red Devil and it's not going to go anywhere. You got this in here. You can go ahead with your DAP. If that's what you have on hand and you don't want to be buying anymore, I get it. We got groceries to buy. So find yourself a little piece of styrofoam. It could be anything. It does not have to be a cone because these aren't free either. So, Jojo. I want it a little smaller. Okay. Now, I'm not going to waste this. You know I'm going to use it. You know those little cups, the mini cups? I put stuff in them, right? This will be a perfect base for a smaller mug. You can cover it in clay and make a gumdrop. Don't throw it away. Any questions? Febreze air fresheners. Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Christine. My kitchen is finished enough to where I've been cooking. So I spent Monday cleaning everything. I'm very happy to be able to put stuff away. I can't put everything away. But yeah, we have to do the backsplash, paint, and order my lights. No, we don't throw, well, I do throw everything away, but I don't waste money. All right, I'm gonna glue this right to my center. We will find a use for it, right, Eileen? Unless it's gym stuff, then it gets thrown in the garbage. Yeah. Oh my God. A cooler for sure. I'd be cutting circles and gluing them up, making cakes of them. Okay, now I'm going to jump over. Before we start piping this, we're going to make some marshmallows. Now, because this is basic, I wasn't going to put anything in it but some marshmallows and our little dripping. It feels weird to me to just do that. Would you guys be okay if I just do a gingerbread head and arms and we put them in there? And we won't do the whole gingerbread. We'll do the whole gingerbread next time. Judy, we are doing a basic one. I don't use this. I'm doing this for newbies that don't have styrofoam, just to keep it cheap for newbies to practice. This is not how I do my designs. Hi, Marissa. All right, let's do real quick. I'm going to show you guys how I do my marshmallows, and then we're just going to do a gingy head and arms. That's my white. Let me move this out of the way. Thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Debbie. So, who here, don't be quiet, guys. Come out and talk to us. Who has never done fake bake yet? I know there's a few that have told me, I'm too scared to do it, but I want to. You make it look easy. Yeah, girl, go cool off. Well, Heather, I don't think you're going to. So let me rinse my hands real quick, guys. I don't want it on my clay. And I want to pick up the paint and spackle off my hands with my clay. Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are going to be claying, for sure, this is, well, I use bows. It's like getting a free bag of bows when you buy the tub. Okay. So for marshmallows, hi Josie. Okay, Deborah, we got to get you going and using this stuff. You made the investment, right? So now you have to make the investment in being confident in yourself of doing it. I have a lot of content here on my page. Angie, you can paint it when it's dry. Some people have added paint to clay. I don't do that. I make my colors with colored clay. But I buy a lot. So, okay, so I just roll it out. I don't like that piece. And I'm just gonna cut. So the foam clay, it puffs up when it dries. If you just shape these without cutting it, your ends are gonna puff up. You're not gonna get a nice true marshmallow. So I'll make it a little bit longer than I want it, and then I smush it down. And then I just reshape it, get it into place. And it's gonna dry just like that. Hi, Lori. So smoosh. And then I just kind of smooth those ends. I don't want these like hard lines. Boop. And we got our marshmallows. Boop. You guys get sound effects. I don't need all these. We'll use them for something. So for something like this, it being that size, I can put those in fresh, but I do have some dry and ready to go. Boop, boop, boop. Hi, Peggy. It is easy. It's just a cut. It's a cut and a smoosh. Smoosh. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. Okay, so for our gingerbread, I have my color already mixed. So the color that I use for my gingerbread is, hang on guys, I have a lot of clay here. I don't know if I have any more. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is, can't even see what it is. This is how this clay comes. It looks caramel, but they call it chocolate or milk chocolate, I'm not sure. But there's two different browns for both. This is the dark one. This is the one I use for all my chocolate. So I use a little bit of this and white. I use this also for my graham crackers and my cookies, but I make it like, I use more white for cookies. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this out of your face. Okay, so we're just gonna do head and arms. And this is about how I like it for my gingies. I'm just trolling stuff everywhere today. What's up, guys? Okay, so if you guys are struggling, it feels like an easy thing, but they're not. Making a ball perfect is a weird thing. So I let it roll away from me. I roll it, let it get away from me so I don't wind up with a point or a flat spot. I don't want any creases in my clay. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't like completely round heads on the gingy, so I always flatten it a little bit because I'm compensating for it to dry and puff out even more. When I look at the very first gingerbread that I made, they look like they ate way too much salt. They are like, I don't like this. I got too much crease. Let me mix my clay. So if you guys are feeling like your clay is dry, go back in and get more fresh clay. Mix it together. I don't think I closed my bag and I was making a bunch of gingerbread. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Eileen? And they're just like, Mom gave me too much bacon. I had chili last night. I made a pot of chili yesterday because that's what I do in the summer. And I had that this morning because I put a lot of bacon in my chili, and I was like that. I was like my first gingerbread. I had to take a water pill and drink a lot of water. I like when they're chunky, but on the eyes and they dry, it just looks not cute. So I started flattening them. I'm like, okay, that solved the problem. Because then they just puff up like normal, not like, you know, that cute little kid from the movie, is it Up? With the balloons? Is that what it is? Okay, using my ball tool, missing my table. This is from the Dollar Tree. I just put this in and I just roll it out, and then I use the smaller one to dot down where I want the eyes. I do not put my eyes inside these little holes. I'm just marking it down where I'm going to put my eyes. They're not going to fit in there, guys. And then my eyes are from Jamie's Corner. I buy all the sizes. She's working on the eyes that I did for my gingerbread pumpkin. She's making those, so she will have those available. Laura, I know a lot of people do. I don't. I do not put water on my clay. I would rather remix a batch of clay than put water in it. Doesn't it help, Dee? Okay, so although these eyes are sticky, I always use a toothpick to pick up my super glue, and I just dot down. I like my insurance. I'm not relying on a sticker. And I just lay these on. I don't push them in place just yet. Okay, they look good. And then I push them down right onto that glue. I bumped her mouth. Okay. I don't think I brought, well, I'll do chocolate since she's going to go in our cocoa. Yeah. I'm going to do the regular, sometimes I like a pop of red for the nose and the cheeks on a peppermint. I am going to be doing peppermint sprinkles on this cocoa. So for the nose, I'm just rolling a ball and then I move it back and forth. You guys can do whatever you want. I don't do like a perfectly round nose. I kind of like it oblong. Yeah. Yeah, it looks better too when it dries. Tammy, depending on the clay that you use, it can leave water spots on your clay. Especially the dark colors. The only one that I would feel, and I have no reason to, the only one that I would feel comfortable doing that on is like a pale pink or white. Okay, so for my cheeks, I roll 2 balls. I don't attach anything until I have both of them rolled out and they're the same size. Then I put them in my hand. I give them a little tap. I flatten that a little bit. Then I put it on the face. It's easier for me to line up my cheeks when I turn my, I don't know, it's just a thing. I turn my gingerbread upside down. I could just see it better where it's going. So I got it in place, and then I tap it down, make sure it's all attached and where I want it to be. And she's cute. Boop. Okay, I'm going to give her little expression lines with the toothpick. Are you guys exhausted yet? I feel like I have given you a lot of information. I don't, Laura. You can if you want to, but it's fresh. It's not going anywhere. If you do use glue, apply it the same way that I just did for the eyes. I saw a gingerbread the other day. I think it was for sale. And the nose was falling off the face, and all you could see was glue. I wouldn't buy that, just for the simple fact that I see glue. Glue is it's a tick for me. When I see it, it drives me insane. So don't use your super glue. If you're gonna glue your nose on, pick it up with the do the tacky glue. Because when you push that clay, you're going to spread that super glue. And you're going to see it. And you're going to get someone like me that is like, oh my God, I see the glue. Okay, so for the arms, I start with a ball. And then I put pressure just on one. And I'm making like this shape for the front of my gingerbread hand. If you are just crafting for yourself, I don't keep anything I make. So everything's got to be as good as I can get it. No, none of us are perfect. Nobody's making anything perfect. But I don't want to see glue and cracked clay. Ooh, I lose my mind. Okay, so I cut these on an angle, and I'm going to go right under her head. Right in the center of her head. I'm going to attach that. I'm going to attach that. So she's like, wee! And then I'm going to bring them in front of her. And I'm going to bend them, shape them the way you want. Thank you, Tammy. Okay, I'm talking. Let me have a drink of my water. She's like a motor mouth today. We are, Laura. We are, for sure. But when you find, you can never go wrong with insurance. I'll never say don't use something if it's going to secure your item. But if you're going to glue that nose on, make sure it's actually on and not hanging off the face. And we don't want to see glue. Okay, so I'm going to do the icing. You guys, when I started doing this craft, what was in my head and I couldn't execute it, I would throw stuff. I would speak in cursive. And I was just doing this in my kitchen. I was bad. Because I could see it in my head. And then it would be like, well, how do I get there? So we all start somewhere. Hi, Jamie. Is it Stephanie? Try not to put so much pressure. If you're getting that wiggle clay and it's like putting air pockets, you're probably putting too much pressure on it. So maybe you could start with your finger. I feel like when I just use my finger for these small ones, it gets wonky on me. And then I have to go back anyway and use the palm of my hand. Don't use this part, or I'm sorry, don't use your fingers. You know, don't roll your clay like that, because you're gonna get mounds. Does the clay stink? No. The pink one does. It does. It smells weird. The hot pink bows, it smells weird. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the back. I'm gonna drop it on the side here. I'm gonna bring it up. You guys can do this however you want. I like mine to look like Richard Simmons, squinting in his fieldies with their little headband. Stephanie, find something different then. If that's not working for you, you could do the little dots where you just run the icing around and you use your little dotting tool. That looks cute too. That is something, when I was teaching myself how to do these, I was overthinking. Silicone glue. Oh yeah, Dee, hang on. What is your name? Tumblr Fanatics. Hello, Nick, are you back? Nick, do you want food? Yeah, what Dee said, there's like those little pieces of acrylic. I know Jana uses those. And you can roll out your clay with that. And I've never used silicone glue. Patty, okay. Thank you, I'm sorry. I just want to call you by your name. Hey, you. Hello, Willie. I was thinking about you too, because I went to Hobby Lobby and I know you were looking at those lanterns. They have like a plastic one, because I know you were saying that one that you were looking at was too heavy. They have like a plastic one, and Dollar Tree Plus has some also, so that might work for you. I'm sorry, you guys. I have never used that glue. The only glue that I use is my super glue and tacky glue. So it's really preference. If you're gonna use tacky glue, I recommend using the clear one, not the white one. It's gonna dry mo better for you. Willie, look over by the candles. They had them over there at Hobby Lobby. Jamie uses, she's not here, so I can't ask her. She uses a different glue too. I need to try some new ones, because I think this is like $9 for this little bottle. And it comes, like, my husband ordered it on, like, Subscribe. But that's crazy for some glue. I was like, babe, do you think maybe you'll be willing to change your glue? I'm like, how long have you known me? I don't like change. Hi, Charlene. Now, I am not someone that could do these real, like, I would love for my gingerbread to have like a thinner cuff and a thinner icing. It looks a lot better when it shrinks, but to me, when I put it on there, I just can't get little skinny clay like I want. E6000, I think that would not be glue you'd want to use on fresh clay. I think it would eat it. it eats a lot of the styrofoam. Oh yeah, everything is just ridiculous. My daughter bought some ranch dressing from the Dollar General when I had 2 bottles in the pantry. And she's like, why is peanut butter and ranch dressing so expensive? And I'm like, child, everything is expensive. Which is why your mother is always complaining when you waste stuff. I'm over here making dinner and they're like, oh, coming in with their Chick-fil-A. Girl. Alright, now we're going to, I got my little guy hanging out. Oh, wait, no. Slow your roll, Vanessa. She needs a bow. I'm just going to do a chocolate bow. So I'm going to use what Amazon calls, or Bose calls, the brown. It's the darker one I use for my chocolate. They should have named this one chocolate. And I'm just going to put it in my little bow mold. Oh, do you? Yeah, every foam clay is going to shrink. And if someone's telling you it doesn't, prove it to me. Some shrink more than others, but they all shrink. I think the only clay, even Model Magic shrinks a little bit. Okay, she's going to get her little chocolate. Look at her. This is cute. Aw, he's such a good boy, Thomas. How are you, son? Alright, I'm going to mix my spackle for our piping. I put it in here, but I didn't add my paint. Why do I add paint when it's white? Because the Red Devil does not have a whole lot of stick. So I not only want it to stick to where I'm putting it, but I want what I'm putting on it, like my sprinkles, to stick. And I also want to thin this out. So yes, you could use water, but you're not going to have much stick. Hello, welcome back. Don't do that, Thomas. How are you, kiddo? So I could tell it's still not the consistency I want. So I don't want this to fall off my popsicle stick. If it does, that's where I want it. It's not going to fall. I want it creamy. I don't want it, if you need 2 hands to get it out of your piping bag, unless you have this completely full, I need 2 hands so it doesn't come out the top, because when I fill this, I'm going to fill it all. We're going to put it all in there. We're going to cram it all in. But if you need 2 hands to pipe this because it's not coming out, your spackle's too thick. Okay, I'm going to use my 1M tip. It is my go-to. It's my favorite tip to pipe with. Mary, that sounds so good. Babe loves banana bread. Banana pudding, banana everything. He loves it. Okay, I'm gonna give myself some room up in here. I'm just closing myself in, because that's what I do. So I'm using the Wilton 16-inch bags. I get them at Walmart. I do reuse them. They're not the cheapest, but you bet I'm gonna get my money's worth because I'm gonna use this until it's no longer good. It's the 1M. Okay, I just always start with squeezing it out inside my bowl to get any air out. I'll wind up with air somewhere in my head, in my bag, somewhere. Okay, so we got our nifty little cheater tool here. You are welcome, Josie. So if you want, just depends on what you want to do. You can go around and make it all nice and all that. I'm not going to do that. I don't pipe anything straight like that. So it just depends on what you want to do. I do circles. So I'm going to do my circles. I'm going to start here. I'm going to bring it down, drop it, and I never go perfectly across anything. I always bring it down somewhere. This is just what I like to do. So this is going to be my front. I don't want it all across and nice and straight. So I'm going to do circles to where it's not. I don't like it straight. Your design, you do whatever you want. I'm just circling. That's all I did. I made me some circles. Okay. Now, we have that styrofoam piece in there. I want to add a straw. I got to be mindful where I put that. I used to glue skewers inside of that little cheater part and pipe around it, and it was not fun. If you guys want to go for it, go for it. I just hate doing that. Okay, so for my straws, I'm not putting this in yet. What am I doing? I always put a skewer in. I don't rely on paper to be sitting in my spackle because I want this to last, you know? I don't want to sell this to my customer and when she packs it up for the season, this little paper straw bend and break. I got insurance in my straws too, okay? It also, Stephanie, you're not gonna overthink your piping. I used to sweat like, oh my God, how am I gonna get this all straight? And then I would get done with it and I'd be like, yeah, I did a good job, but I don't even really like it. I don't like it. So I just started doing that and that's what I like. All right, I wanna put my chocolate on. So we're gonna do our caulking. It's the caulk, glossy Mod Podge, and paint. I mix it in a bowl. I break down that caulk. I like mine on the thicker side. There's no recipe. I just throw it all in a bowl. I use less gloss, more caulk. I like it thick. And I break it down in a paper bowl. And then I pour it in these bottles. You can get them from the Dollar Tree. If you want to use puffy paint, do not put your chocolate puffy paint on your fresh, wet Red Devil. It is going to bleed into your spackle. Let it dry and then come back and put it on there and then you can throw your sprinkles on your fresh chocolate. It doesn't do that I have noticed with DAP, but Red Devil, it sucks it in and it bleeds inside of the spackle. There are some things I don't care. I love the way it looks with coffee. I'm actually going to do a video for you guys. This has coffee grounds in it. I love the coffee ground on the spackle when it bleeds. It looks super cool. Same thing with the cinnamon. Not the dripping. It don't look nice, guys. So don't do that. Okay? Thank you, Cynthia. I haven't done this in a million years. I do not drip stuff. So this is weird, guys. And I don't do it. I know a lot of people are very particular. You know me. I'm a mess. I don't like neat and very placed. That's not how I roll. Okay. I actually love when it drips down the glass too. Let me move this out of the way because we got to throw some sprinkles on here. Now you can put your marshmallows on here if you don't want to drip your actual hot cocoa, your whipped cream. You could put your brown paint right directly, I do it a lot, on my marshmallows. So let me get my straw in. We're going to throw some sprinkles. So this is only going to, wrong one. I got these little candy canes. So I want them. Okay. I'm hitting that foam. I'm not a long straw girl. I don't like the way it looks. I'm going to cut this. Now if you guys move that around, and you got a hole in your spackle, don't worry about it. Just go in there. Put the tip right inside of your spackle. Don't do it on the outside because then you're throwing off the whole balance of your design. Stick the tip right there and then make your circle. Okay? Trust me, it'll just look a lot nicer. You won't have to like rebalance everything. All right, so now for my marshmallows. Let's throw our sprinkles. I'm going to be using my peppermint mix. It is called That's So Neat. I do have it in my shop. You guys, if you're just starting out and you want to know if you like this craft, when I started, I bought that little confetti tubing stuff from Dollar Tree. You can use that. Ooh, it's got me a little gnat in my face. All right, so for my marshmallows, I'm not going to rely on my spackle just to hold them. Let me clean off my little cutter here. I cut that straw. I'm going to use my insurance, and I'm going to cut a little toothpick. I'm going to put a little super glue on it. I'm going to run it through my marshmallow. I know I'm going to hit the foam if I leave it this long. I just want a little grabber. Just a little. Am I overwhelming you guys? I'm not sure, Cheryl. Things just show up sometimes. I have no clue. I don't know. All right, so now I think I'm going to put my gingerbread right on the top, and I'm going to have her holding the one right on the top. What do you guys think? Like I'm giving you a choice. Amber, that's not my name. What's going on? You don't even know your friend's name. That is not right. But hello to you, Jelly. Laura, one is fresh, one is one that I had. I'm just grabbing the size that I want. Okay. No. Eileen. All right. I just glued that in there. We'll get it right on top of there. This one is fresh. I'm going to run my toothpick again, and then I'm going to position her arms right on it like she's holding it. he's so cute. All right, not done. All right, I was like, wow. She don't love me anymore. She don't even know my name. They want her. Cheryl, as long as it's closed, I don't use mine often other than, I don't use it at all besides for donuts. That's what I frost my donuts with. I do not use this like as a dripping. I don't make stuff like this anymore. But I've gone back to it several months later and it's been fine. Your tip might get, you know, like dried and clogged, so you just gotta like pick out that stuff, but as long as it's closed, it'll be okay. All right, what was I gonna do? All right, I always do this. It's just kind of my thing. I like to finish the footing of my glasses. I'm gonna add another marshmallow on that bottom, and then I will turn it around and show you. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys, our spackle also shrinks. So the DAP is not only like why I use that for frosting cakes, it just smooths out a lot nicer, but you have less shrinkage on the DAP than you do with Red Double. All right, so now I want to go in on my marshmallows and I'm going to use my puffy paint. I'm going to keep it off my spackle. I'm just going to put it on my clay here. I don't want nothing bleeding. Hi, Lori. No, Laura, I have him down in there. Don't just like have him floating above the spackle. I smushed him on there because it is fresh. So that clay is going to shrink a little bit, and I'm going to get a little bit of shrinkage on my spackle as well. So I won't have a space there. It took me several times to get it right to where I can do that. I usually don't recommend that you, especially if you're new to the craft, that you start running fresh clay through stuff. But it can be done. Just make sure that everything is in there. So if there is anything shrinking, like I wouldn't put a big embellishment right in this because number one, it's gonna sink. That fresh clay, if I had like one of my big twist lollipops here and I have it in a skewer, it's not gonna look, it's gonna sink over in the morning. When I come down and look at it, it's gonna be a mess. But you're gonna have a lot more shrinkage on a larger piece of clay. So this little stuff, I don't mind it. I can get away with it. Something bigger, I would say just wait. Be patient and wait. Okay, that dripping that we used for the caulking, it will dry a little darker, so it won't look weird that I have two different drippings on. And if it does, who cares? I'm not trying to look like y'all. Thank you, Debbie. Hi, Karen. We're just finishing. I know a lot of people that do that, Dee. I have done that. I do that when I make ice cream cones. What do I do? Oh, I thought I had another one here. When I make ice cream cones and I clay out the cone part and then I pipe up the top, that base part of spackle that is touching that clay, that very first piping that I do, is always damp. Sometimes I'll mix it, but it has to be damp because that shrinkage off that clay is going to be greater with Red Devil than it is DAP. I won't get a line of separation with the DAP. With the Red Devil, I will. Even if that, I'll never do an ice cream cone on fresh clay. I let it dry, and it doesn't matter. Every time I would get a space. So I'm like, I gotta see and switch it up. And that's when I realized the difference of how much it does. It shrinks a lot. But you know, the way that I pipe my glasses and really anything, I don't have I never have spaces in between anything. And if you do, you can always go back and hide it with your dripping or your puffy paint. I've had a skewer pop out, like where in the world did that come from, where I could see a toothpick, and I'll just go in and I'll add some white, you know, puffy paint. So it's not a fail if that happens. Thank you guys. So we are going to, the next one that we do, I'm going to show you guys. I know you guys have seen me do this. You've seen me build a lot of glasses and all that, but there's a reason why I don't use foam board, because I want to make stuff and stick it all out, and you know, but this is a perfect place to start to see if you like the craft. And when I did this and I finally got it, because I was piping with Dad, and I would make it and I'd be all excited, and then I would come back to it and I'd be like, dang, but I would say a worse word. Why did it melt away? And all my spackle would be down the glass because I was using Dad. And then when I switched to Red Devil, it was game changer. So we learn along the way. You are very welcome. So the next one, we are going to, we're going to do some donuts and some cookies, and we're going to put that pink glass. Hang on guys, let me get this wet, because I want to put my bag away, because you know I'm not throwing it away. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cut out donuts with you guys, but we'll just do it. We'll do it when we do the shake. I'll have donuts ready, and then we'll make some. But this cookie cutter for newbies, this set, it's 12. I use this to cut my clay. I put my affiliate link on my page actually before I came live. Because if you guys don't want to invest in a whole bunch of things and you're like, I don't even know what to buy to get started, this is a great set. You can make cookies, you can cut your clay, you can cut your styrofoam with. I use this set every single day. It has 12 sizes in it. I cut my donuts with it. So this would be the center of my donuts. And then whatever size you want. For my little donuts, I use, you could just use a cutter, but for some reason I love the way that looks. I put these in my macaron mold, and I cut with a little piping tip, because I don't like a big round, you know, hole in my little donut. So I use this. You can also use bigger piping tips like the one end that I just used to cut your centers. But we're gonna make a cute cookie, not having a fancy cookie cutter. I'm gonna just use that round cutter. You can buy a set. The link that I posted before I came live, it was $6.99 for this tin. You can buy, I think it's a pack of 5 round plastic ones from Walmart. They have the scalloped edge side and the straight side. You can find that in the baking section if you want to just start with that. I want to say that one's like 3 something or 4 something, but to have this many sizes, I gotta have this. I think those are really good starter tools to see if you want to do this. So we're going to do some cute cookies that you don't need no fancy cookie cutters with. Hi Cindy. Tammy, the cutter set is BUKUWA. I posted my affiliate link on my page. If you go to my page, it'll take you right to it. You don't have to purchase it through my affiliate link, but you can see what I'm talking about. My macaron mold is from Soap Level US on Etsy. Most of my molds are from her. It's been a minute since I bought a mold. My waffle mat is from her as well. I have another waffle mat from Amazon. It's not my go-to. It's not my favorite. It's more of a wafer than it is waffle. But the waffle mat from Soap Level is, I think it's $89. But it's worth every penny of it. I wouldn't have purchased it probably if I didn't sell my stuff. So I love it, right? I use it every day. I should probably buy another one because I'm always back and forth in between my tables. So I will keep you guys posted when we're going to do our next. So when you guys get it down and say, okay, I want to do more and more. That next glass that we do is going to be more and more. I think we're going to do a donut design. I think everybody loves the donut designs. I'll show you guys how to get the color of the donuts. That is one of the most common questions I get. And then we'll do a couple basic cookies that'll make a statement that you don't need to go and, you know, you could just buy a set of cookie cutters from Amazon or from Walmart, and we'll do that. All right, guys? So, I am going to gift this to one of you that sprinkled, so I don't make stuff like this anymore, so I won't be putting it in my shop. So, sprinkle, 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 and I will pull a name, and somebody will get that. All right, guys? And then I'll keep you posted when we're going to do that. You are very welcome, Diane. Thank you for hanging out with me this Friday night. Thank you, Barbara. Did you need it, Donna? I don't think so. You got this, girl. I know. Thank you so much. Boop, boop, boop. All right, guys. Have a great night. If I don't come on before the weekend, enjoy your weekend, and then I will keep you posted who won that, and then when we're going to come back and do our pink design. All right, guys, have a great night.